it's time for the Billy C. Boxing on TV event ratings. And I have two to catch up on here for the TV ratings. And they go as follows. On NBC last week on May 23rd, it was the third NBC broadcast that we did. It was the main event. Actually, was Edwin Rodriguez going up against Craig Baker, but I score that as satisfactory. The main event. Who the hell decided that Edwin Rodriguez, who I like, but is no way a premium or even exciting fighter against a built-up opponent in Craig Baker? How does that Craig Baker? How does that get chosen as the main event over a world title match between two arguably A-list fighters? The fight had a tough act to follow. Bamba did what he had to do, stopping Baker within 3, but still, the main event on NBC, come on, man. I could only give it a satisfactory, and to be honest with you, that was a generous rating. As far as the co-main event, that gets a 5. That gets an excellent. Can we ask for a better fight on a regular old network television channel like NBC than a world title matchup between James DeGale and Andre Durrell? It was close, filled with action. And it kept you watching until the very end. Although I think Durrell's trail of tears and cries of robbery were total BS, that didn't affect my enjoyment throughout this fight. This fight proves why you just cannot coddle your fighters until that big fight. By doing so, they never get better. Durrell is the same older Durrell that he was a couple of years ago when he was better. He fought a couple of comeback fights, but nothing to the level of James DeGale. I think that DeGale has shown that he is getting better and better. I scored that excellent. As far as the crowd, I scored an excellent. The place was packed. The crowd was on their feet from start to finish, at least for the DeGale-Durrell fight. But when a fighter from England brings over 200 fans all the way from England to the United States to support him, and English fans, nobody's more vocal than them, how could I not score this an excellent? I scored an excellent. As far as the referee, which despite the referee clearly favoring Durrell, in my opinion, during his fight with DeGale, I still scored a satisfactory. And as far as the broadcast team, I think BJ Flores is one of the best. You can't get better than Sugar Ray Leonard. I score that a satisfactory as well. I'm not that crazy about the main guy, but anyway, 19 is the total. It averages out to 3.8, which gives us an overall rating of very good. So that was a good one there. And the other event that I'm going to do is the one that was last week was ESPN's 14th broadcast that we at least rated. Their final, their main event. Hey, listen, I can't help it. I love the Boxino tournaments. This show actually had 3 main events, in my opinion. I scored a 5. The technical main event was Andre Fedosov and Donovan Dennis. It was a good fight. I had to score that an excellent. As far as the co-main events, I'm going to give 2. The Povetkin Perez and Thompson Adams fights. They were both short, but they were exciting fights. And I give each of the winners gave convincing performances that will hopefully get them back in front of us really soon. I had to score an excellent. As far as the crowds, 2 locations, keep in mind. Score them both excellent. Both crowds couldn't have been more into it. They couldn't have been more vocal. It made these events the more better. I scored an excellent. As far as the referees, I had to give that an unsatisfactory, specifically in the Povetkin-Perez fight and the Thompson-Adams fights. I think that the referees both let these fighters, Perez and Adams, take some unnecessary and extremely dangerous punishment, especially in the Perez fight. Both the refs and fighters were lucky to come out not seriously hurt. I had to give that one an unsatisfactory. As far as the commentating goes, I scored it as satisfactory. The commentators were solid in Joe Tessitore and of course Teddy Atlas. But how can you get above a satisfactory when you got the worst studio guy in sports and Todd Grisham? I also got a little sick of, and to me it got old with all the goodbyes and see you later. Trust me, we're still going to see fights on ESPN, and I predict that Friday night fights will eventually come back. I score the commentating as satisfactory. When you add it all up, it comes out to be 21, which averages out to 4.2, which gives an overall rating of very good. Now, if you check out the website anytime tomorrow, www.billycboxing.com, under the TV ratings, you'll see all of the current stats for the networks, and you can hear the breakdown. So make sure you check that out.